how limiting or how wrong it may be. This is why we've all been taught not to discuss sex, politics, or religion in mixed company. The very issues we should be discussing are off limits because middle-class thinkers are easily offended by anyone who opposes their beliefs. Beliefs are how people make sense of the world. A person's beliefs connect the dots to the pieces of the puzzle they don't understand. When you present a contrary belief, you scramble their dots, and as a result, the world no longer makes sense to them. This terrifies the average person, and they will attack you out of fear. Keep in mind that the middle-class thinker operates out of a fear and scarcity-based consciousness. This is the ugly truth of the middle-class belief system, but it's important to know so you realize what you're up against. Building world-class beliefs is an uphill battle because only 5% of the population will be able to relate. The good news is it's worth it. Thanks for joining us. I'm your mental toughness coach, Steve Siebold. Stay tough. Welcome to Mental Toughness Secrets of Champions. I'm your mental toughness coach, Steve Siebold. Today we're going to talk about how you can use nonlinear thinking to solve seemingly complex problems in your life. So let's start out by defining nonlinear thinking. Linear thinking is A, B, C, D. Nonlinear thinking is A, M, Z, R, Q. Linear thinking is the obvious answer to a problem. Nonlinear thinking is the unobvious answer. Is unobvious a word? I'm not really sure. I went to the University of South Alabama, so I'm not really too sure. By the way, do you know what you say to a PhD from South Alabama? Just leave the pizza by the door. It'll be fine right there. So anyway, nonlinear thinking is a great tool for solving problems that don't appear to have a linear solution. Let me give you an example. Several years ago, I took up kickboxing. Great workout, lots of fun. So one day I'm at the boxing club and the owner comes up to me and says, "Would you like me to set you up with a sparring partner?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" So he introduces me to this giant gorilla-looking guy named Big Jim. This guy is 6'5" and he weighs about 300 pounds. The owner says, "Steve, not only is Big Jim the 3-time arm wrestling champion of the world, but he was Muhammad Ali's bodyguard back in the 70s. And I'm thinking, Muhammad Ali needed a bodyguard? And I got to fight him? This is nuts, you know? I can see the headline now. Tennis player mauled by monster arm wrestler. This is not good. I can hear my mother now. For this, I sent you to college. Huh? So we start sparring, and Big Jim says, "Go ahead." He talked with deep voices. "Go ahead. You can swing full out at me. You won't hurt me." And I'm thinking, I really wasn't worried about you. So he's just toying around with me. It was like Hulk Hogan versus Pee Wee Herman. Not good. He was starting to get irritated with my lame punches and kicks, and he finally says, "Pretend I've attacked you on the street, and you have to decide what to do. It has to be your best move to save your life. You've got 3 seconds, or I'm knocking you out." I was like, what? So I didn't know what to do. So I went to my knees, and I went, "Ayah!" And I punched him right in the groin, and he caught my hand in his hand. His face turned beet red, and the veins on his neck are bulging. And I said, "I'm dead, aren't I?" And he looked at me and said, "You would be if we were on the street." And I said, "Oh, thank God." But what was I supposed to do? He said, "You should have run. I have at least 100 pounds on you. I've been a professional fighter for 30 years. You started a fight you couldn't win. The smartest move was to run. But you were thinking of a linear answer. The nonlinear answer to fighting a war you can't win is not to fight." And I thought, he's exactly